The old wooden box sat under Mama Grace's bed for 20 years. Nobody touched it. Nobody asked about it. Every birthday, every Christmas, every Mother's Day, she would quietly take out one yellow envelope, hold it close to her chest, wipe away a tear, and place it back inside. Her daughter, Amara, noticed this since she was a little girl. "Mama, what's inside that letter?" she once asked. Mama Grace smiled gently. "One day, when the time is right, you'll know." But that day never came. Then, one rainy afternoon, everything changed. After 20 years of silence, Amara finally opened the letter. And the first sentence made her hands shake. Amara was 28 years old. She worked as a nurse in Lagos and visited her mother every weekend. People admired Mama Grace. She was kind. She never argued with anyone. She always helped neighbors before helping herself. But everyone also knew she carried a sadness she never explained. Whenever people asked about Amara's father, Mama Grace simply smiled. "God has been enough for us." That was all she ever said. Amara grew up without knowing the full story. She never met her father. She never saw a single photograph of him. Whenever she asked questions as a child, her mother gently changed the subject. After many years, Amara stopped asking. She accepted that some stories were too painful to tell. One Saturday, Amara arrived home carrying groceries. She noticed something strange. Her mother's front door was open. Inside, Mama Grace was lying on the floor. "Mama!" Amara rushed forward. Thankfully, her mother was still breathing. She had fainted from exhaustion. At the hospital, the doctor said she needed complete rest. "No stress," he warned. "Her heart is weak." That evening, Amara stayed at her mother's house to clean. She washed clothes. She organized the kitchen. Then she looked under the bed. There it was, the same wooden box. For a moment, she stared at it. Her mother's words echoed in her mind. "One day, when the time is right." Her hands trembled. Was this the time? She slowly opened the box. Inside were old photographs. A tiny baby bracelet, a wedding ring, and one sealed yellow envelope. Across the front were 7 simple words. "For my daughter, when she is ready." Amara froze. Her name wasn't written there. Just, "My daughter." She carefully opened the envelope. The paper had become soft with age. The ink had faded. She began reading. "My precious daughter, if these words have reached you, it means I could no longer carry this secret alone. The man you have spent your whole life wondering about was never the villain people believed. He was your father, and he loved you before you were even born." Amara stopped breathing. Her eyes filled with tears. This was not what she expected. She continued. "The day I told him I was pregnant, he cried with joy. He promised we would raise you together. But 2 weeks later, he disappeared. Everyone told me he had abandoned us. Even his own family believed it. I wanted to hate him. For years, I tried, but then..." Amara turned the page. A newspaper clipping fell onto the floor. She picked it up. The headline read, "Young teacher dies saving children during bus accident." The date was exactly 20 years earlier. Her heart pounded. She looked back at the letter. "Your father never left us. He died on his way home after buying your first baby clothes. He saved 6 children before losing his own life. When I learned the truth, I couldn't bear to tell you. I wanted you to grow up remembering love, not loss. So I carried this pain alone." Tears rolled down Amara's face. For 20 years, she had believed her father chose to leave. The truth was far more painful. She continued reading. "There is one more thing you deserve to know. Every year on your birthday, someone secretly paid your school fees. Someone bought your textbooks. Someone helped us without telling us why. I only discovered the truth last month. It wasn't charity. It was your father's best friend. He kept the promise your father made before he died. If you wish, find him. His name is Daniel." Amara folded the letter carefully. She cried harder than she ever had before. Not because she had found answers, but because she realized how heavy her mother's silence had been. The next morning, she asked her mother gently, "Who is Daniel?" Mama Grace looked at the letter in Amara's hand. For a moment, she said nothing. Then tears filled her eyes. "You finally know." She nodded. "I know." Mama Grace reached for her daughter's hand. "I wanted to tell you many times. But every time I tried. I remembered the funeral. I remembered your father smiling that morning. I couldn't do it." Amara hugged her tightly. You protected me. Mama Grace whispered. I was only trying to protect my own heart too. A week later, they traveled together to a small town outside Abdon. An elderly man welcomed them before they even knocked. His eyes became wet. You look exactly like him, he whispered. Daniel. He invited them inside. On the wall hung dozens of old photographs. One picture showed a smiling young man holding baby clothes outside a small shop. Amara stared. Her father. For the first time in her life, Daniel opened an old cabinet. I've been keeping these for you. Inside were birthday cards. 20 of them. One for every year. Each one had been written by Daniel. As if they were from her father. He had never mailed them. He never wanted to replace him. He simply wanted Amara to know she had always been loved. Amara opened the first card. My little girl, if I could hold you today, I would tell you how proud I already am. She cried. She opened another. My princess, no matter where I am, my love follows you. Card after card, year after year, every birthday had been remembered, even though her father was gone. Daniel smiled sadly. I promised him, you would never be forgotten. Months later, Mama Grace's health slowly improved. The sadness she had carried for 20 years became lighter. She no longer kept the wooden box under her bed. Instead, the letter sat in a beautiful frame in the living room, not as a reminder of pain, but as proof that love never truly disappears. Sometimes the greatest gift a parent leaves behind is not money, not property, not success. Sometimes, it is the truth they were finally brave enough to share. If this story touched your heart, remember this: the people we miss may be gone, but love has a way of finding us, even years later. Tell us what you feel about the story on our comments section, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and turn on the notifications button for more stories. Thank you.